immediately coughing.
New podcast title.
Yeah. I have art. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Hang on. False start.
Keep going.
Vamp, but I can't make a podcast without her. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. While Iwa gets some art that we're putting in front of the camera, we've had a title change since last month's episode. Because we started a new thing. You know the Hank Green website where it's like, how many days has it been since Hank started a new thing?
Sure.
That's us right now.
We are starting.
We've started a new thing. We've rebranded from Use Wanna Go, which was just this podcast, to the Umbrella Corporation, but not the one from Resident Evil. Use Wanna Roll.
Use Wanna Roll.
Because that's cool.
Okay.
Funny.
Yeah.
It goes with the theme of Use Wanna Go. Come on, man.
Sorry, I'm trying to make it like not. It's shining on the thing. Continue.
Because it goes with the thing of it rhymes with Use Wanna Go.
Yep.
But also Use Wanna Roll D&D. Because you roll dice. Under the umbrella branding of Use Wanna Roll, we have this podcast.
Yes.
Which we've dubbed Floor Time.
Floor Time.
Because we're on the floor.
Yeah.
And our other podcast, which we started about a week ago.
Yep.
But also had our first proper day yesterday. Turn the lights off.
Turn the lights off. It's like Dimension 20. You know, Dimension 20's turn the lights off, but it's not Dimension 20. It's Use Wanna Roll. Use Wanna Roll.
Use Wanna Rolls. Turn the lights off.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's an actual D&D podcast. An actual play. It's very fun. Very fun with our beautiful friends, whomst I love dearly. We had a full session yesterday. We had a full recording session in which we recorded 3 whole episodes across the day. It was like a 9-hour day. Fuck, it was excellent. It was such a good day. I loved it, and all of the stuff we did was very funny, very like heartwarming. Just to like make this thing with our friends, making stuff. Something about it is fucking healing. Makes me feel warm inside. Makes me just joyous.
Yeah, I mean, like, throw back to first episode therapy.
Yeah. Yes.
The therapy episode.
Yeah.
It's been known between the two of us for many, many years that the thing that makes you feel best, feel mentally best, is to create things. Yeah. More than anything else, like sex, drugs, alcohol, like doing anything. Literally, nothing makes me feel better than making a thing. Yes.
Yeah.
And
doing that with people
that you love.
People that I love. People that I trust, you know? There's so many people. We've made things with other people before, and I have not trusted them for good reason. They're not particularly good people and like good at doing the making thing.
Sometimes,
but
yeah.
These people that we're playing with now, like they want to be there, like fully. They want to just be there, like to hang out with us, to make this thing with us. They trust us. They're honest with us, and it's like, fuck, it's amazing. Which we've never had a whole group of people make a thing like they're making a thing with that we're like are like that. There's like a few people. There's normally
often there's always like
one or two.
Loose.
Yeah.
Screw? No, loose bolt.
No.
In
stop.
the construction.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just like there's always one person who's like just kind of there just because they like, I don't know. They don't really want to be there. They just sort of said yes. And
it can be difficult to find a good group of people who all have the same vision.
Yeah.
Or all have, like, or are all open to sharing your vision.
Yeah.
To create something.
It's just, yes. And like, the people that we have at our table in the Turn the Lights Off crew are not all like perfect at every aspect of the thing, you know. There's a lot of things that go into making a D&D actual play podcast. One of them being like, you gotta know the game, you gotta be good at acting, you gotta be good on screen, you gotta be good at the table talk of just talking to people around the table, you gotta be like entertaining, as in like you gotta hold people's attention, you gotta be engaging. All of these things, you have to have you know, you have to have some of it. You don't have to have all of it, though, you know, and you can compensate at being good at one thing and not so good at another thing. The people at our table are like, they've got their play style in the actual play area, and they're like, yep, I'm committing to that. And it's really good. And they make up for their, you know,
things they're less experienced
in, but just like really leaning into the thing they're good at. And it's very nice.
Really leaning into the thing they're good at, and also like leaning into the things that they're not as good at to try and develop them.
Develop
more.
it and make it, you know, the thing is, we're playing with a bunch of fucking teachers, you know, who are very good at being bad at stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's really nice. When you're bad at a thing, it's just like, you just lean into it, because eventually you'll get good at it, you know? And like, you know, we're teachers. We know what it's like to be the kid that's not so great at a thing. And we know what it's like to have those kids. And it's just like, every time you have that kid in your class, you're just like, hey, keep trying. That's fine.
Keep trying.
Anyway. Hello.
Anyway, that's the short way of explaining that we've changed the title of the podcast.
Yeah. Great.
Welcome back to another episode of Floor Time, which is also technically the first episode of Floor Time, but forget about it.
No.
Welcome to the floor. I am Caitlin.
I'm Iwa.
And today you brought some art.
Huntrix.
And the
Saja Boys. They're beautiful.
I don't know why I moved it.
It's fine. Yeah. You didn't want me to put it up here because it gets
It's
too
bright.
Well, then it's just gonna.
It has joined Huntrix.
No. Who's your favorite?
Out of the Huntrix?
Yeah.
Rumi.
Why?
She has a cool sword.
She's a cool sword.
She has my favorite weapon.
Yeah.
I like all of them.
Yeah.
I like the roles that they fulfill in the group.
Sure.
I don't know the official terminology for K-pop stuff, but I always like the rapper.
Yeah.
Which is Zoe.
She's also the maknae.
Huntrix. Yeah, she's the youngest.
Rapper, I believe, it's just rapper.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know all the other ones.
Yeah, no.
But Rumi's got the coolest sword.
Yeah.
I love swords.
Yeah.
Because I'm a predictable bisexual.
Do bisexuals like swords?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
Obviously Rumi. I have her patterns tattooed on my arm. I adore her. But, you know, Mira is the one I want to kiss. So, yeah.
I don't want to kiss any of them.
You're missing out.
I want them to kiss each other.
Oh, yeah. Polytrix is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I want to kiss Gino?
Yeah.
No, but I will take him as a sword.
A big blue sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What more could you want out of a man? Sings
don't
good
talk
and
to
then
me.
turns into a sword.
Don't talk to me. Just let me swing you and kill people with you.
Sings good.
Yeah.
Helps you defeat the bad guy.
Yeah.
Once he's useless, turns into a sword. Perfect. Why have you... Oh, wait. Who's your favorite out of the Saja Boys, I guess? Not that many of the other ones other than Gino have a personality to choose from.
I think the others...
My
one of
favorite's
them...
Mystery. No.
What? Yeah, Mystery barks, right? He says no actual intelligible language. He just barks at people. Baby says goo goo gaga. Abby says some like weird, creepy manosphere shit. And then, who's the other one?
Romance.
Romance. No, Romance is the one who says weird. No, both of them. They're both a bit weird. But no, Romance, I don't remember any words he says anyway. But then Gino is like, yeah, cool, charismatic. So yeah, obviously. But if we're talking about like who's like the hottest, I still think it's Gino. The others are like Twinkie weird.
I also think Gino's the hottest, but mostly because Abby's outfits are mediocre.
Yeah.
And Romance's hair is too much.
Yeah.
Gino's good. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why'd you bring out this art for today's episode?
No reason. I just liked it. It's the only thing that's framed and wasn't on the wall. So I was like, oh, I have something. And that's it. So I brought it.
I thought you brought it to...
For a reason?
Thematically to fit the episode because there's a bunch of hot people. And today...
I guess so.
We're talking about sex.
Sex. There's a lot of preamble. 10 minutes in and we started talking about what we're actually talking about today.
I wanted to play a little jingle.
Jingle? Play a jingle. Do it.
I don't remember which one does what.
Pink. Ah!
That was the perfect one. That was exactly what I wanted. Yeah, today we're talking about sex.
Yellow for clapping.
Oh.
Yeah! Woohoo!
Today's episode. So, talking about sex, obviously we're probably going to be talking about gender, sexuality, queerness.
Absolutely.
But also we're us, so we'll be talking about inevitably indigeneity.
Yep.
And all of everything.
Yeah, of course. Obviously with the through the context of Dungeons and Dragons.
Sorry, I forget that that's not.
We have to say it.
Yeah, we have to say it.
At this point, it is kind of implied, but for those who don't know,
everything we talk about is
about
D&D, not even just in this podcast, in life.
Sure. Yeah.
At moments before we started recording, you said we should make a podcast about music, and I said all my input will be through the filter of my D&D character.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with.
Inevitably.
Yeah, maybe not the most interesting thing.
Nobody
everyone
else
else
knows about my
I'd
characters.
love it. Yeah. Maybe one day.
We've already spent hours doing it in the car, in the lounge, in bed.
That's what we do. We just talk about your fucking D&D characters, which is great.
It's great.
I love it.
That's what we live for.
Yeah.
But I guess, where should we start with sex?
Sex in D&D. Is it bad?
Is it bad?
Yeah. Is it a bad thing to do?
No, not in my opinion.
Yeah.
We of the we do session zeros.
Yep.
So that we can talk about things like this and set the boundaries of what everyone is comfortable with at the table.
Sure.
So, for example, with Turn the Lights Off, we had our session zero a few weeks ago and talked about whether or not we wanted sex to be explicitly described at the table, essentially, in narration or roleplay. And pretty much everybody said, nah, good. Fade to black. Is the preference.
Yes. Yeah. So sex can. So for those that don't know, there is a. Well, yes, we'll explain it. We'll explain the whole thing just because there's going to be some people who don't know. Session zero is a thing when you're making up a D&D game or you're starting a new campaign. Session one is where you turn up and you start playing the game. Session zero is where you turn up and you express the rules, the boundaries, the tone, the processes that you will use when things get scary. Session zero is a relatively recent thing, sort of created by some very very lovely people who have had some bad experiences at a D&D table, because that happens often. D&D tables historically have had times where it's not particularly safe. It takes a lot to turn up to a table and share your character. Right, this thing, you go away, you think about this character, this story, you put so much of yourself in it, and it's vulnerable. It's vulnerable. Like an author writing a book, they're writing for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then to finally finish their script or whatever they draft, and they hand it over to another person. That author is vulnerable because they're sharing so much of themselves with another person to read. And normally, in that instance, the author gives it to a bunch of people who an editor or a friend to just read through it or whatever. And it's known in the world, in society, that when you do that, you go through that process, that author, it's quite vulnerable. And so people are quite nice to you about it, and they give you constructive feedback and stuff. D&D is a relatively new form of media, a form of gameplay and stuff. And so there isn't these things drawn up, these rules that we just know in our mind, where it's okay, we have these established practices in which we protect each other at the table. That's not a thing. So some people went away, sat and created this sort of session zero train of thought in which you come to the table and you bring in ways to keep each other safe at the table, because again, there's that you're bringing your characters to the table, you're vulnerable, right? Or you can be. You're bringing so much of yourself, you're putting yourself on the table, and you're sharing this creative venture with other people. And some people at the table, I've been a part of tables where this happens. Some people take your character and do horrible things to them without you wanting that to happen, and you didn't realize that was on the table. You didn't realize that was a part of the game that you would be playing.
What you were agreeing to.
No, and so it feels awful. It feels truly horrible when that happens. So a session zero is a safe way to make sure everyone's on the same page. They know what's going to happen. They know the tone, and they know and are prepared mentally for what can happen to their character, right? And so we had our session zero, in our session 0, we established, or you just ask the question. You'd be like, okay, so prior to coming into this thing, I said 4 descriptors for our game. I said it was going to be slutty, drunk, horror, action.
Noir.
I don't know if noir was there? Yeah. Okay, noir was there. So those were the 5 descriptors that I gave, right? So in there, you've got a couple of ideas. There's going to be, drunk is like sort of the abuse of alcohol, or it sort of gives you the vibe of, what it means to be drunk, to be in that sort of, head space and all that sort of stuff. Horror, scary. Action, going to be some fighting. Noir is going to be a little bit, 1940s-esque in the dark, sort of like, in the shadows and sort of, rainy day sort of vibe. And then sex is, slutty. Slutty is going to be sexy, right? And so in the session 0, you say, hey, sex is going to be in this game. Or it might be in this game if you don't want to be in this game. But we pose the question, sex. How do you want to interact with sex during this game? And everyone at the table was like, yeah, sex is cool, but I don't want it to be described to me. As in, like, you don't, go into the, 2 characters walk into a room. They start stripping each other of their clothes. They start sucking dick and doing all the, you don't say all those things. It's just like, hey, these characters walk into a room. They talk to each other. They kiss a bit. Fade to black, right? So that's what we decided. We have these things called lines and veils. It is a line. A line is something you say, we never cross this line, right? So you say, like, one of the things we talk about is like child abuse, right? A child you might not like, I don't want to ever see a child get killed or murdered or something. So you say, that is a line we will never cross. A veil is where it's like, you draw the veil on it. So you say, you just fade to black. So with sex and stuff, it's like, okay, we know sex happens, but I don't want to hear it described. So we will fade to black. We'll draw the veil on it so that we don't have to actively describe it. And then we skip to the point where it's after the sex has happened and we continue on, right? So that's one way we keep ourselves safe with sex at the table. But yeah, there's a lot of tables that I know who don't do that, right? There's a lot of people who don't do session 0s. And is this my story to tell? Maybe it is. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, I remember a couple years ago, I was playing a lot of Overwatch with people that I'd met online, and I was up late at night all the time, and there was some people that I played with often who they'd started a D&D game, and it had been a couple months since they'd been in this game, and I remember this wonderful young woman that I was playing Overwatch with. She said, yeah, I took a break from D&D last week, and I came back this week. And someone was like Jaegering my character. You know Jaeger, the term Jaeger?
Oh, like piloting.
Piloting, yeah. So like Pacific Rim, piloting the Jaeger, where like you drift into, that thing. You pilot, someone was piloting their character and playing it for her. And she came back and her character was pregnant. And I was like, huh? Are you okay with that? She was like, well, not really, but it happened in D&D. It's D&D, so it doesn't really matter. And like the way that she was talking about it was like, oh well, like it happened to me. I didn't really plan for it to happen, but it kind of happened, and everyone just sort of went along with it. Ah well, and I'm like, whoa, these people clearly did not have a session 0. That is crazy stuff. Yeah.
I guess talking about sex in D&D does also mean that we have to talk about like pregnancy of characters.
Yeah.
And like a part of session 0s that we've had often has been, I'm pretty sure you've asked like the question about pregnancy or having children in campaign, especially in longer campaigns that will take place over years.
Yeah.
And I guess like still thinking about session 0s and talking about our experience, like you and I, because we know each other so well, we know the kinds of games we want to play and the kinds of stories we want to tell, and have the like privilege, the opportunities to revisit session 0-esque or session 0 adjacent conversations with each other often throughout the campaign, not just in that session 0, because we are in a relationship and live together and see each other every day. And as this podcast was born out of, talk about D&D and the stories that we're telling through D&D often. So, talking about my character from our last long-form campaign, Kess, prior to the campaign starting, when I was writing him as a character, we established with each other that, like, or I established with you, as the person writing him, that he didn't ever want to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And with the like constraints of sharing a table with other characters and having to tell multiple stories, it wasn't super high on my priority list of a like theme to explore. His not want to have kids wasn't something I intended to be like relevant to the story. There's so much other stuff going on that I've found more interesting about him, like what we talked about last episode with his like indigeneity kind of stuff, trying to figure out where he fit in with his divine lineage and everything like that. That him having children, which again is already related to the divine lineage stuff and legacy and all of that, but he was so anti becoming a father that like I told you that at the beginning, and then we didn't really revisit it often. I think we had maybe one conversation about it throughout the like early episodes, and then there was a point like how many sessions in was it?
Which part are we talking about?
When he, you know, some timey-wimey, time travel-y fucky shit happened.
Yeah.
And he found out he was going to have a child in the future.
Yes.
In a potential future.
Yeah.
He had a kid with, like, the woman he was seeing.
Yeah.
Loosely. And I don't, we hadn't discussed it beforehand. You were aware that Cass didn't want to have kids.
Yep.
But you were also aware of the story that you and I were telling and the way, because we know each other so well and because you know me so well and the kinds of stories I want to be telling, which are particularly angsty, sad ones, like, you could take creative direction over that. And you also didn't, like, force it upon me. Like I said, it was a potential future that could have happened.
Yeah.
And you just kind of like, what about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, it is a strat that I have in D&D. It is like, I love playing with time. Or like possibilities, you know? Like, our first campaign, there was a character who had an echo knight, and the echoes that he pulled in were they're different possibilities, right? Different possibilities of yourself that you're pulling in. I believe that's in the rules as written, is how those echoes work. And that idea to me, I was just like, oh my god, there's so many potential ideas. So it's like you can like pull an echo of like a possibility in and show it to the player and be like, hey, how do you feel about this potential echo? And like it's happened a number of times where like there's a possibility of something happening. And like often people are just like, oh yeah, whatever, and we just move on. But you as a player and as your character were quite affected by the idea of having this baby, having this child. And like, you know, that moment happened where your character saw the baby and was like, oh my god, whoa. And then we had to continue playing because it was during like a very big scary fight and stuff. And then later on, kept coming back to it, being like, just it clearly weighed on his mind, you know, and it was affecting him. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is something that, you know, you want to at least be thinking about. You as a person are thinking about it because it's showing in your gameplay. So we talked about it a bit more, and like you seemed interested in exploring that a little bit further. So I was like, okay, cool. And I
mean, even immediately after that session,
yeah,
I think it was like the first thing you asked as soon as we like ended stream.
Yeah.
Was that okay?
Yeah.
You don't have to have a kid if you don't want to.
Yeah,
we can just like not do that.
Not do that. Yeah. But you were like,
we'll see.
You liked it. And it was, we kept developing that story over time. And that's the beauty of D&D is that you can do that. You know, like you can go away and revisit and rewrite things. Like when you've written a book, like, if someone is holding the book in your hands, they are holding the beginning, middle, and end of that story. Whereas in D&D, you're telling it over years. You're telling that story over a long, long amount of time. You have time to change the ending if you want, which I think is so, so powerful. You can craft that ending together. And so we crafted that story of your character, of Kess, falling in love with his children and caring for them and you know, truly becoming like a girl dad and just like absolutely loving his kids, and it was truly one of the best stories I've ever been a part of like creating. I loved it. And that all came out of him wanting to be a bit of a slut. But or like immediately falling in love with.
That's me though. That's not necessary. I do think that's my burden to bear.
Yeah,
was that I immediately pushed aside all of my slutty intentions.
Yeah.
For the super hot lady I met in the first session.
In the very first session.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like in regards to Kes in that story, like his hesitance to have a kid was obviously born out of like a like lack of like insecurity, an insecurity that he would be good at it.
Yeah.
And because you presented the option to me and like made it a potential storyline, I decided to follow it and have him go through the process of like coming to terms with his own insecurity and lack of confidence in himself.
Yeah.
As like more than just the slutty kid.
I love the slut to dad pipeline. The slut to like best dad pipeline ever. Like, yeah, it's great. It's so good. It was
great. But like with the pregnancy stuff, bringing it back to sex. You within your world, and I was talking about it with someone recently. I think it was with somebody in our Turn the Lights Off table during our session 0 when we were like making characters and stuff. Was talking about like that in your worlds, as the DM, as the DMGM, you have the rule of like there is universal birth control that is essentially if you want to have kids, you can have kids. If you don't want to have kids, you can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
And, I do think you kind of pushed the boundary of that a little bit with Kes.
Yeah.
I
think that's where I established
an agreement we'd already had.
Yeah.
You didn't push that boundary until after I had been like, I want them to have children.
Yep.
Maybe it's on me that I hadn't established with you exactly when that happened or how that happened, so that it didn't become like world shattering for him.
Yeah.
Because he, because of the story, ended up not being around for the first few years of his kid's life.
Sure.
But that just added extra angst. It was brilliant. But yeah, like I think it's interesting and like also hearing other people's stories from other tables, like through the internet, not that I know anybody personally really, of like that person you're talking about, their character just becoming pregnant.
Yeah.
Like it seems like a thing that happens at a lot of tables for some reason.
It's crazy.
Particularly that storyline.
Yeah. I like we're talking about sex, and when we say they were talking about sex, people are like, ooh, sexy time, boobies and dicks and wow, like it's so fun. Yes, it is that, but there is the thing of consent, there's so much in order to have safe, fun, actually sexy sex. You gotta have that talk of like how we keep safe. Otherwise, it is just abuse, right? And I think in that story that I was talking about with my friend from Overwatch or whatever, it's like, yep, that's someone like abused that character. That's not safe. That's not a safe story to be telling because there's no consent there. There's no one actively like asked like, is that a story that you want to do? As far as I know, no one asked like, hey, do you want your character to be pregnant? She was like, oh no, I just turned up and I was pregnant. I was like, whoa, holy crap. And so in one of the amazing things about D&D is that you can just create magical ideas to keep people safe. And so in one of our worlds that we have, I created the mortal and immortal consciousness in which things there is like a presence in the air for all mortal beings, in which you are like you every vaccination that's ever been made, you upload it to the mortal consciousness and everyone has it. Any sort of like sickness or like flu shot or whatever, everyone's got it. Birth control, you cannot get sick, you cannot get pregnant unless you actively want to have a baby. And you cannot make somebody pregnant or get somebody pregnant unless you want to do that.
Both parties
have to agree to have a baby, and that's it. Because it's just, I just can't, yeah. That's how it should be in the real world anyway, you know? So yeah, that's how I keep us safe at the table, because it's not worth having the hurt, you know? There's in D&D there is so much potential for trauma, and I that's not the story that I want to be telling. Maybe in some life there will be more. In some time I will have more space for those trauma informed stories and things. But right now it's just we're telling fantasy stories. We're telling, you know, that's not the story that we want to be telling. It's not the thing. And you got to be, I think, to tell those trauma-informed stories, you have to be really, you have to be at a table that you trust. You have to be at a table that is well-read, literate, is like kind and morally, like in tune with themselves and with the other people at the table. You got to be on it to tell those kinds of stories, you know? It's not like, D&D is not like actors turning up to set to film a movie, being given a script and it's like, these are your lines for today, this is all you're doing, get your mind right for these words and then go home at the end of the day. That's not how it works at all. D&D, you are going and you're like, every time you play D&D, the way that you turn up to the table is you are bringing your character with you, and you bring the entire history of that character with you. You bring every feeling, every thought that they've had. As the player, you're bringing all of them with you. And then in the DM brings the world, in which it is like a simulation for you to take all of those feelings, all those thoughts, those histories of that character, you put them in the world. You are given situations in which you can, given opportunities in which you see how those histories and thoughts and feelings change how you react to those things. And it takes a lot. You have to be really in tune with that character in order to make those decisions and be well informed in those decisions. You have to be in that character. And so if you're in that character and you're in an opportunity or you're in a scenario where you are being abused, that's just happening to you. That is bleed from the game, and it is affecting you, and it is wildly unsafe. And some people think that, or some tables, it happens often where people are just traumatized because it's happening to them. It happens to their character. Yeah. They're living that character, and it is happening to them. And I've know people who are like, yeah, I'm never playing D&D again because I was of this horrible. They say it this way. I'm never doing it again because this horrible thing happened to my character, or this experience happened with these people at the table. And it's like, yeah, you were actively abused. It happened to you. Like, it's wildly unsafe sometimes. Yeah. So you got to make sure, if you're telling, and I don't want to say, my default is to say a scary game. Dangerous. Game. It is dangerous, right? Yeah. Talking about sex, having sex in a game of Dungeons and Dragons can be dangerous. It can be fun as hell, right? But it can be dangerous. And I think that is true about sex in general. Sex can be fun as hell, but it can also be really, really dangerous. And you got to be smart about it.
The only way it can be truly fun at the table is with good, safety mechanisms in place. And the biggest part of that is session zeros and establishing how you want to do that.
Absolutely.
For you, as somebody who has in the past and at times identifies as asexual, to roleplay sexual relationships in D&D. I mean, for the most part, you've pretty much only done it with me, who is your partner. So, but like, even in yesterday's game, you've started doing it more with another player. In our other campaign, there's like a bit of romance, but not quite sexual yet. What's that like?
So,
is it like just playing a game? I mean,
well,
it's up to you.
I think This is the podcast. I have to get good about just talking about things and just saying lots of things and lots of ideas and getting deep and getting deep and meaningful, and that's okay. Sometimes in the world that we live in society, getting deep and meaningful,
you
people
quiet yourself up before you've even said anything.
Exactly. But if we're talking about fucking sex, bro, it is deep and it is meaningful, or it can be. It is for me, at least. My asexuality is born out of my physical, a lot of things. Is the way that my body is sort of hardwired. I think it is. I feel it's like an autistic thing for me. I don't really like being touched. Unless I've been given a lot of warning. I don't really like feeling sensations. I don't like food. Eating things unless I don't like eating new foods unless I've been given a day to prepare for it. I don't like being in a new place unless I've had at least a day to prepare for it. Sex is one of those things. You feel a lot of feelings: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. Sex is, it's for me, it's about connecting, and it is very intimate, and there are a lot of feelings physically going on, and my body gets overwhelmed very quickly, and it very quickly overwhelms my mind, and that can weigh on my spirit if I'm not ready for that, and so it just is scary to me. Physically, there's different sort of places on the asexual spectrum where it's you're sex repulsed, in which you think about sex and you're like, ooh, I don't want that. I don't want to think about that. I am repulsed by that. And then there's sex averse, where you're not too miffed about it, but you don't really want it. And I'm sort of closer towards that end, right? Where it's not that I don't think sex is disgusting at all. I think it's totally fine. In fact, I think sex is cool as hell. Just for me, it's just really overwhelming, and I gotta be ready for it, And so, on paper, I really like the idea of sex. It's really, it's a cool idea. The idea of, connecting intimately and physically with another person. It's really fun. And, I didn't mean for us to be talking about our sex on this thing, but here we are. Our sex is, it's cool. I love having sex with you. It's really fun. But it is just one of the things where I've got to really prepare for myself.
It is when I love food.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love different kinds of food.
Yeah.
I love trying new kinds of food.
Sure.
I love going out to eat food.
Yeah.
And you do not like that.
No.
You do not like the unknown of that.
No.
So, over the many years, we've learned that you are willing to do food things with me, but you do need the warning of it.
I need a warning.
Because of the sensory
Yep.
challenges that can come up around different kinds of food, different places where food is being served, different noises, smells, etc. So with D&D, does the absence of, like, you know what it's like to play D&D in different scenarios that are happening in the game. Like, you know what it's like to play combat, you know what it's like to roleplay conversation, you know what it's like to do the political intrigue, you know what it's like to set up worlds and world build and all of that. And over the years of playing, you've developed your own approach as the DM to how to roleplay intimate, romantic, and sometimes sexual relationships between you and me, and like we've seen it between NPCs where you are just role-playing with yourself, doing romantic stuff.
Sure.
So is that because you're so well-versed in those different aspects of the game, there's no surprise? Like, or there's far less surprise than, like, actual sex?
Maybe. I think I'm going to continue to talk about my asexuality just for a bit. So, like, me being asexual is me physically being overwhelmed, right? Among other things, there's like different ideas about like sex and stuff, but most of it is just like, it is like physically I'm overwhelmed by the thought of sex, But in practice, right? Like, I mean, not in practice, even in practice, the idea of sex is really cool. Like, I like sexy people. Like, there was a thing that we did at school once. There's a thing we do it often with like our friends. You, me, Yuji, and Tyson. We'll just like send each other what our Instagram explore page looks like, and everyone's is a little bit sexy. Mine is the sexiest. It's like degenerate. There's naked people everywhere, and I'm asexual. You know, I don't want sex. But I really like looking at hot people. I really like the idea of sex, and that's fun. You know, I think other people having sex, I'm like, hell yeah, pop off. That's really fun. I don't want to do it. I don't want anything to do with it, really. For like physically, I can see other people. I can see other sexy people, and I'm like, I appreciate you from afar. Hell yeah, you're doing that thing. You're so hot and sexy. Stay away from me, please. I don't want you to be near me. And most of it is like goals, you know? I'm like, yeah, I want to be hot and sexy. But for no purpose other than just because I like the look of... I like when... I think it's a trans thing as well. Being in love with your body and it's in all its forms. Clothed and naked. And I've always hated my body. Always, always, always. It's been like maybe like 3 years since I started HRT, where I've started actually loving my body and showing it off more. Like, when we started dating, I hadn't, before I started taking HRT, no one saw my upper arms.
Yeah.
No one saw my upper arms ever. Ever, ever, ever. I hated them. No one saw my bare chest. I hadn't taken off my shirt in front of anyone else other than you in over like 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I hated being seen. But now, like, last 3 years, I've worn a bikini to the beach, you know? Like, my thighs are out all the time. My arms are, like, I love my body.
You having your arms out,
yeah,
I think was, like, one of the biggest changes in our relationship.
Really?
Ever.
Why?
Because, like, for, 10 years?
Yeah.
Over a decade.
Yeah.
You never wore anything short-sleeved.
Yeah.
You hated just wearing t-shirts without a long-sleeve shirt over the top, like rolled up to the elbows or whatever. But you hated wearing short-sleeve shirts. I'd never seen you in a singlet.
No.
Like,
crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
And it was, like, so cool.
Yeah.
When you started loving showing your arms.
Mm-hmm. Like wearing tight-fitting clothes, you know? Showing off my boobs, but also just like my tongue. Yeah. You know? And like I got
the actual shape of your body.
Shape of my body.
Before that, you would wear big old square shirts.
Yeah, that hid everything. I looked like a flag when the wind was blowing, you know? I was a little flagpole in the middle and my clothes were billowing around me. Yeah. Yep, that was me. Seeing other people be hot makes me want to be hot, and that makes me happy. In terms of like D&D and stuff, like, it kind of has nothing to do with me, really. I don't. For me, it's all about keeping other people safe. That's my number one priority, is keeping other people safe. But I know how much I am excited by stories in which two characters fall in love, or not even fall in love necessarily, but just like two hot people
with each other.
Had a vibe. Two people, hot people have a vibe. Bang! They are screwing each other, and I'm like, yo, that's fun. I'm like, thank God, you know. Like, we were watching fucking Heated Rivalry. We haven't watched a lot. I think we've
watched like first episode. That's it.
And they were banging in the first episode, and I remember they were.
Oh, they were.
Yeah. Sorry, spoiler alert. And I was watching it. And I was like, oh, thank God. Like, I hate the will they, won't they thing. Like, sex is not the be all and all. You know. Like, it's like they banged, and then I assume the narrative conceit is whether or not they'll actually fall in love and be together by the end of it. That's the story that I assume. That's an interesting story. The idea of like, will they, won't they just bang? I was like, I'm a bit bored of it. Sex ain't everything.
Will they, won't they have sex, and then that's the end of the story?
That's the end of the thing, is they
not
just
like
have sex.
Whatever actually happens to the relationship that they have with each other.
Sex being the thing is so Western and boring, and I'm just like, no, you can have sex in it. It can be fine.
I like the approach you know, you're the only person I've ever been with romantically and sexually our entire lives. So living vicariously through the D&D characters that I make, I like the idea of, like, especially with Kess, right? Yeah. The intent on setting out on the, like, slut journey. Yeah. And we're using slut positively.
Oh, absolutely. Slut is a great word.
The idea of setting out at the start of that campaign with Kess being a bit of a hoe was like, I really am pro the just neutrality of sex. Yeah. Of sexual intercourse between people. Yep. And that has always been my intent when I create a character for D&D that is a bit of a hoe. Yeah. Is just like, because sex is just a normal part of people's lives a lot of the time. Yeah. And I enjoy telling that part of a sex story.
Yep. I'm not, for me, I don't like the sex. I don't like dating. Get away from me. I like being with you. Great. Hell yeah. In a story, though, that can be really fun. Romance as a story thing, it's pretty fun. My favorite, like, movie genre is, like...
You love a rom-com.
I love rom-coms. They're fucking great. I love them. The trashier, the better, really. I love a rom-com. I love romance, and I love... Like, sex is cool, but I really love when they kiss. I love a kiss, you know? When they're just warm with each other. And I like role-playing warmness in a romantic relationship, especially in D&D. It's really fun, because, like, D&D is one of those forms of media where you can see the mundanity of it all. Mundanity, I think, is, to me, sexy as fuck, you know? Like, it's so cool. It's so cool. And then... sex in D&D, I'm not. I don't like that for myself. But when, like, one of my D&D characters is getting it, I'm like, hell yeah! I think it's cool. Because it's just like a friend. Like when your friends tell you that, hey, I got some last night.
Right,
like,
this is my friend, my D&D character.
Yeah, like I'm like, pop off. Like, good on you. Like, was it good? And they're like, I'm like, oh.
It's like, what was it? In our other campaign, where we left off, over 2 months ago.
Over 2 months ago.
I was starting to head in the direction of beginning a sexual relationship with an NPC. Yeah. And I told you after that session, I was like, next session, we're doing it. And then you went out into the big bad world and told Yuji, a player from our table. Yeah. And I think Joe as well, maybe. You told a couple of people afterwards that you were like, Caitlin's going to sleep with Micah next session. Yeah. And I was like, it is just fun to, my close personal friend, Katavir Kaivosi, is going to get it. He's been dead for the last however many years, hundreds of years.
It's his first time.
It's his first time back in his flesh and bone body. All right? The world's been ending since he got back.
Exciting stuff.
It's exciting. I'm happy for him. And maybe the person he's chosen, that I've chosen for him, is a little bit toxic.
But hey, I love a good hate fuck. As long as it's consensual.
It will be. Don't worry. Yeah. I will set out with the intention of having it be a consensual
hate fuck
interaction, and if it's not, we won't go there. But she's the DM, so
yeah, we should be fine.
I have to go to the wharepaku quickly. So
okay,
would you like to keep the people entertained?
Sure. I don't know about what. Hello. Welcome. I'm on the floor. Am I going to edit this out? Maybe. Or you're just going to sit here with me for a minute or two. What can I do for a minute? Oh, what if we just sat here in silence? Wouldn't that be awkward? What if I just stared into the camera and just stared in silence? Oh, that'd be awful. That'd be so awful. Oh, no. Yeah, what can I say in a minute? But really put on the spot. See, this is the thing. I wasn't given warning, and now I'm just out of it. See, if Caitlin had told me 10 minutes prior that I needed to come up with a thing to talk about for 1 minute, 10 minutes ago, if they told me 10 minutes ago that I had to do that, I would have been fine. But here we are, sitting. Oh, look! You made it back. I talked about nothing. Nothing at all. I'm just here, chilling. What were we talking about?
Were you worried I wasn't going to make it back?
That you were going to fall in and die?
I don't know.
I'm always worried you're going to fall in and die.
We were talking about Kata and Micah, but I want to talk about something else.
Sure, let's talk about something else.
So, I want to talk about my experience of sex in D&D.
Perfect.
And I think
yes,
one of the things that I think is the most positive outcome of portraying sexual relationships in D&D.
Yes.
In my experience is, again, we've been in a relationship for a long time. I don't have to do the whole like courting thing.
With me?
With you.
Yeah.
Like we don't, hearing from our single friends about the dating scene and that you have to like
God
do that.
You have to try.
You have to try. Like those aren't social skills or muscles that I ever have to work out or flex. So one of the things that I like about D&D is that I have those opportunities to like practice.
Flirting,
it's just
courting?
Like, fun, yeah. It's like it's such a fun thing that you never get to do
in a committed relationship that
you've been in for 14 years. We're like you don't like, and I think that's part of why people enjoy roleplay in sexual like senses in sexual situations as well, is like you get to explore a different idea
a different
in consensual relationships with other people that you otherwise wouldn't get to. Like, because of D&D, we got to role play out like the beginning of a relationship as adults instead of as 14-year-old teenagers.
Woof. And our love story was far less interesting than the one that we did in D&D. Yeah.
We met in high school, got together.
Done.
And another part of that is like, so I'm going to talk about something that we've done in the last month since our last episode.
Sure.
We went to Armageddon.
We did indeed.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we usually go, but also because one of the guests this year, Robbie Damon,
man of your dreams,
one of who I think is one of the hottest people in the world.
Yes.
And if he sees this, hey, you already know it.
Hit me up.
Not that. That's weird.
He's married and has beautiful kids.
Yeah. But like did we talk about it in the queer? I can't remember in the queer episode or not. But and at the same time, my last character, Kess, are massive inspirations for the person that I want to be. Yeah. And that includes like attractiveness and like the way that I carry myself socially. And combined those two influences, like they create somebody who is quite flirtatious and charming and confident. Yes. And I don't get into those social situations often of my own accord in my day-to-day life. So it was cool. Yeah. Yeah. Like getting to meet him, even though he doesn't know that that's like he's one of the inspirations for the kind of person that I am. Yeah. It was cool to do that. Yeah. And yeah, I think through building these different characters over however many games now that are in different ways confident in their sexuality and in the sexiness of them has like helped me be more confident and more social and like work on my actual real life charisma stat. Yes. In ways that I wouldn't be able to do otherwise. For sure. Yeah. Yep. I think that's one of the strengths of not just sex in D&D, but one of the strengths of sexual and romantic and intimate relationships being portrayed in D&D and having the opportunity as a player to roleplay those. Obviously, you don't necessarily have to do sexual relationships or romantic relationships,
Yeah.
but they are it's just more opportunities to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That, like, I don't do theatre or anything else like that. I do D&D, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
I play a lot of D&D, as we both do. And yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things about D&D is the possibility of exploring those relationships without. It's also the thing that comes up talking about like being queer and playing D&D, or exploring and uncovering your queer identity through playing D&D, is you have that safety, and people talk about it as just like the distance between player and character, and that space is the shield that protects you from, like, I think I talked about it in the queer one, but in the case of being queer, like, if you're not out, if you're not comfortable saying that you're queer in whatever way, you make your character queer, and the distance between the two of you means that nobody assumes that you're queer. It's the character that's queer.
Yeah.
And then in sexual situations, like we're talking about this episode, like the character going through all these sexual, intimate interactions and relationships, there's enough distance between you and them to keep you safe. But I don't think it's just the space. Obviously, it's session zeros and the lines and veils that we set up.
Yeah.
Because inevitably there's bleed. Yeah. And if you're aware of it, as we are, or as I try to be, then that bleed doesn't, it didn't shape me into Kess exactly. I'm not being a little slut and then falling in love with a Blade Singer wizard at the pool party.
Yeah.
But it made me a little bit better at talking.
Yeah.
I managed to bleed in the way that is like practical and beneficial to a real life human in the world, not a D&D character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a thing I think is what, like, yes, the same character that your D&D character romanced in our last campaign, and like his wife, and I had to roleplay the wife, obviously. The way that she commands her sexuality, like she is an interesting, beautiful person. She's a beautiful, physically attractive person who weaponizes her sexuality in political instances, in political places, right? And the way that she does it was really exciting to me, as a narrative. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's cool, that's fierce. I don't want to be her. Oh my God, I don't want to be her. That is, whoa, no thanks. But role-playing as her and weaponizing her sexuality in that way, I was like, oh, sexuality can be a tool. And so I got to role-play, she's an asshole. I'm not her. I do not condone her actions and the things that she did to you or to anyone else using her sexuality. But she would wear, like, slutty ass fucking clothes and was just like manipulate the horniness in your character to just, assert her dominance, her sexual dominance, It was just really interesting the way that, then the way that I got to explore that element of sexuality and sort of exploit my femininity or her femininity to get her way. It's like she had an understanding of the world and society to the point where she knew, like, oh, people love hot people. I can be the hottest person in the world. I can get whatever I want. I can rule the world. And she did. And she's brilliant, and I love her for it. I think that's really exciting. But I don't think the way that... Yeah. I think I like it as a narrative for me. Sex as a narrative tool. A tool for narrative story and also just narrative growth as a person, as a character. I really like as a sort of an anchor in a narrative, a turning point or just a checkpoint in a character can be fun. Or it doesn't even have to be that, Sex doesn't necessarily have to be a checkpoint. You've got to this point, you succeeded, yay! And then you just, it's a collection of, it doesn't have to be that. It can just be a thing that happens, a moment. And I like the way that in our games, sex isn't this lauded over thing, this great big thing. It is just a thing that some people do sometimes, you know?
I really like what you said about it being a narrative tool, though.
Yeah.
And like I also like it as just being this thing that happens.
Yeah.
And that, you know, in D&D you get the opportunity because you have the time, you have like the wiggle room to breathe and tell filler.
Yeah.
And like sometimes sex is a part of filler.
Yeah.
But I also I like it often using it as a narrative tool to do both, to just be like this is a thing that happens, but also like I can use it as a marker of character growth.
Yeah.
And like spoiler alert for the party, for our table.
Yeah.
But with Kata, like whenever he does eventually have sex with the NPC Micah, like that, to me, that is a point of character growth where he's, as a character, I wrote him being, he's a reaper of death. He was dead for a very long time, grew accustomed to that, did not want to be alive anymore, like did not want to be alive again, was forcefully resurrected, has been in a point of, in a state of like hating being alive the entire time until very recent events. And then this character moment of that I intend to tell of him having a sexual relationship with another person is to me a marker of character growth where he's started to embrace the aspects of being a living being again.
Yeah.
And that's one of the ways that I wanted to use sex as a narrative tool with that character.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have another question.
Sure.
Which you also made me think about while you were talking about my character Kess's wife, Arms, the love of my life.
Yeah.
And it kind of, is like a trans question as well.
Yep.
That, like, have you found, since coming out as a trans woman, that through D&D you've been able, like, I know this, but I also want to hear you talk about it because that's fun. Have you been doing like a crash course of different kinds of women and like trying out different kinds of personalities and different kinds of ways of using femininity and finding the ones that align with your idea of who you are as a feminine person?
Well, yes. The answer is yes, I have. And I think, you know, genuinely lately I've been thinking I've been falling into a problem where all of my women are quite similar. Even though they're not, they're all quite different. But they're all a bit, femme fatale, or the ones that I really lean into is like femme fatale. And like, I'm not a femme fatale, but some people think I might be. Just because I got that Maori death stare and I look scary from afar, but then I get talking and I sound like a little like fucking cutie pie. Like, the way that certain characters, there's, for me, there are women in my life who I map my sexuality, my gender, my presence as a human being. I emulate that in myself, right? And very few of those women are real. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of role models growing up. We know this. Had a really tough time in my childhood, and I basically had to raise myself. And so a lot of my role models are from like video games or movies or TV shows, and that's like pretty unhealthy, pretty not great. But I'm okay. You know, I turned out all right. And I have some of the women. I'm really smart. I'm really, really, really smart. So I take the best parts of all these women, the ones that I really want to be and I really want to have in my life. And believe it or not, some of the women in D&D are my role models. Some of the women that I play in D&D are literally my role models for femininity. No way. Who could that be? Like, you know, like your wife is one of them. The way that she like walks confidently into any room, the way that she sort of with every word hides so much meaning and kindness and love, even though she's so cutting with and it's so calculated with her words, she is like showing her love through that way. And then there's like Iggy, like your character's mother, the way that she is so charismatic and so witty, and just the way she again walks boldly into any room and commands everyone, knowing that she is the fucking best, you know, even though she knows that she's not the best and she is an asshole, you know. Like, just, I don't exactly want to be that, but just like the confidence and love of self that they all have, and like, yeah, like Kana as well. Like, she loves all her friends. She will defend them to the death. She will do anything for the ones that she loves, and she did, you know, and just such beautiful and sad ways. And those are characters that I fucking wrote, you know. And it is just a way of me literally being like, okay, what kind of person do I want to be? Let me test that in D&D and see how that feels through that character. And there's some things that those characters did that I didn't really like, and that's a good thing, you know, because they all did some pretty horrible fucking stuff, because it's a fantasy story and it's like, oh, you're murdering people. I don't want to do that. But there are parts of them that made, like, you know, I'd go away afterwards and be like, oh my god, is that just me? Is that just who I want to be? There's so much of being an autistic woman, where truly, if you left me alone in a room with nothing going on, I would sit there silently and do nothing for the rest of my existence. I am like this person that we see on camera, this person that we see when we're walking around the world. This is a mask, you know? And it's like, when I am out in the world, when I'm living my life and you see me and you talk to me or whatever, you're essentially seeing the body and the mind and the soul of Iwa playing D&D as the character that, the character of Iwa, you know? Like, me living my life masking is me playing D&D as this person. This person, to me, isn't real. You know? And that might be like a bad thing to say, or like a scary thing for some people to hear. But like, I'm really autistic. I'm like, the only reason that this mask exists is because it makes it easier for me to live in the world, you know? Like, a lot of people, when I was younger as a kid, I would say nothing. I wouldn't do anything. And mostly because I was afraid to. I'd want to engage. I'd want to have those relationships and connections and stuff, but I just couldn't. But having this mask, developing this mask to be charismatic, to be kind and loving and fierce and whatever else, it's a way for me to move through the world easier and less alone. Because if I didn't do this, I would just die. I would just be alone and I'd be sad. So this mask is my tool for living life happily and safely. And a lot of this mask is parts of things that I've tested in D&D, as well as just other people that I've seen in the world, and I've pulled into that as well. Yeah. A lot of like the real life women that I have are like our teachers from high school. There's a lot of teachers from high school that like truly changed me as a person. Yeah. Like, I have real life role models. None of them are people that I'm related to, because fuck them. None of them are people that like from like my childhood or anything. But like, yeah, like a lot of the people that I like changed me, people who showed kindness to me and love towards me in ways that I appreciated, and D&D is one of those things where I just pulled a lot of the good shit into it.
Pulled a lot of all the inspirations from different places and different other characters, put them into all of these characters in D&D that you wrote, and then drew more inspiration from them. Yeah.
Because I saw all the cool shit that I wanted all in one place, and I was like, yep, that's it.
Now's the part of the episode where I'm going to talk about this cool thing that you do and that I love about you, and then I'm just going to kiss your ass.
I don't like this part of it. Why has this become a thing?
I don't know, but it happens.
Why?
I don't know. Sometimes it's a small thing, sometimes it's a big thing. Today, just while you were talking about Iggy and Arms and Kana, all these very cool, very complex women that you wrote for our D&D campaign.
That no one will know.
That no one will know.
But we know.
But we know.
Yeah.
And no one will ever see because we've hidden all of them.
Yeah.
But there'll be one or two people out there listening to this podcast who may recognize some of those characters. And yeah, all of them, like you said, had all these cool things about them. These cool, like they were confident, they walked into a room, they were very commanding, they were very good leaders in different ways. Yeah. But they also did all these very bad things and had all of these really complex feelings about who they were personally and how they related to others. Like Iggy had a lot of, like, she put forward this front of being a very confident, like, intimidating woman who acted like she was better than everyone, but also had some insecurities about what she was like as a absent mother to my character. And she carried all of that all at the same time. Yeah. And then Kana being, you know, like this very strong leader, this very charismatic leader, this great friend, but then also carrying a lot of like betrayal and lack of a sense of self because she was being puppeted in a lot of ways by a lot of different people in a lot of different directions. Yeah. And then Arms being this very sexually confident and capable leader who, like knew how to be manipulative, was interpreted by a lot of people as being quite cold-hearted and like confronting, but was doing almost everything, pretty much everything, out of the very deep, profound love, and I will never not love that woman. Yep. And carried all of that all at the same time. Yeah. Back to my point.
Okay.
I think that's something that you put into all of them.
Right.
Is like, you have always been very, very good at carrying all these different aspects of yourself and your personality and the person that you are from all these different like strands of life, all the different phases of life that we've been through together and apart. You're very good at carrying all of that and like still maintaining the person that you are. Like I have a lot of problems personally with like figuring out how to juggle all of the different aspects of personhood. Like that's kind of a part of my, I guess, autism, but I don't know. Of like, how can I be somebody who is both good and funny, but also sometimes says a mean thing? How can all of that be true all at the same time? You are very, very good at like just being okay with knowing that all of those things can be true at the same time, and that's what being a rounded, fully rounded out person is. And I think you put all of that into your characters as well. And that's why so many of the characters are so well written. It's because you already know not innately, but you've learned over time how to do that as an actual person, whether or not that be part of the mask building or not. So you could do it for characters as well.
I don't know what to say. I just don't want to cry. That's all. That's it.
All that to say, I think you're a great DM. You're really good at writing characters.
Great.
You're really good at telling stories, and you're a really good person.
I don't like it.
Do you ever play the game?
For sex?
Yeah.
You know what I really like? This is so funny. I like that, again, we talk a lot about your fucking character and his wife.
Oh,
again,
hell yeah.
There's just the hottest people in the world and so sexual in a way that I never could be, you know? My play of the game is your wife, she's so sexual, so and she's so powerful as well. She's like a level 20 wizard, and at level, I forget what it is, level 7. There's a spell, I forget what it is, but you can change your body parts essentially, and they're so freaky. Like we wrote this.
Hasn't even happened in game. This is just something we decided outside.
But we decided outside of the game. Yeah, but
since
like
the campaign ended.
We decided that they did this, and it was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. She like uses magic to like change it, like whatever body part she wants to whatever she wants, and then she like makes clones of herself so that she can just rail you in every way that she possibly can. I think that's crazy.
They're deeply in love.
They're deeply in love. They're so in love. And they're so hot for each other. But I think that's hilarious. I think that's my play of the game. Is it like in terms of sex? I think that's the sexiest thing probably that we've done that we didn't even do in game really. Like that's a totally like a fade to black kind of thing that we would do in game. But out of game, it's like that's so good. That's so good. That's so funny. I love it.
It's a good play of the game.
It's a good play of the game.
I also like that.
Yeah. What's your play?
My play is a broad play.
Okay.
Of like I love making a confident, sexy, hot character.
Absolutely.
But I also like making them pathetic.
Yeah.
And I think that's sexy.
Pathetic hotness.
Yeah.
Hot but pathetic.
Being really hot.
Yeah.
Where in any other circumstance, they would be the hottest. But then you make someone even hotter, put them around me, and I'm like, haha, now I can be the pathetic one. So one of my favorite plays that we do, or have done in the last 3 games that we've played, the last 3 campaigns that we have, is I make a really hot man, and you make an even hotter, I make a really hot, tall, strong man, and you make an even hotter, even taller, even stronger, hot woman who both wants to have sex with me, but also wants to kill me. Yeah. And I want to have sex with them and also want to die.
Sick play.
That's my play.
There's another thing that I want to talk about as well. We're at the end of this thing.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about it a lot. But anyway, I do. We talked about this kind of at the beginning as well. How like when we don't flirt, really, we don't have
in
to
real
do
life with each other.
We flirt with each other, not like courting. Like I think so much of like courting is like you're trying to size each other up to see if like you're a good romantic partner and a good sexual partner, and if this is going to be a good thing. I feel like so much of the like relationship courting building thing of like dating is so like like it's a lot. I like that pretty much every character that is like sexually available is like keen. Like if like not just for you, but for anyone in our games. Like there was a character who like it was made apparent that a player character liked an NPC, and the NPC was just like, "Do you want to do it?" And the NPC was like, the player was like, "Whoa, hang on, wait."
We just met.
We just met like a couple weeks ago, and she's like, "Oh, sorry." And that's just Iwa being like, "Oh yeah, that's Iwa being in a 14-year relationship where if like Iwa wants to have sex or something, she just goes up to Caitlin and is like, 'Hello, sex?' And then Caitlin's like, 'Oh yeah,' and
yeah, all right,
yeah, all right." Like that's just how we understand sex. And I was like,
that's the normalcy of sex that we approach it with now.
Yeah,
that like. Oh, isn't always the story that everybody wants to tell.
No, some people want to do the courting.
Want to do the build-up.
They want to do the build-up, and I was like, "Oh God, yeah, whoops."
I like jumping into a campaign mid build-up.
Yeah,
mid to late build-up.
Yeah,
which didn't happen with Kiss and Arms.
No,
but that's different. But like with Kata and with my character in Turn the Lights Off, Buddy, like I like jumping in either mid to late build up or post build up.
Post you fucked up. It's over. Maybe there's a chance though.
Maybe we could come back around. Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Like Kata is the post divorce.
Yeah.
Post death. come back around. Maybe this
to be fair,
time.
in all of these instances where like I've like there's been like flirting and like the offer of sex or whatever, session 0 has been had and everyone has consented to those things.
Obviously.
But it's just funny when like I just forget, like it's like people do that courting
People want to
thing.
do the build up.
I'm like, oh my god. Whatever. I guess so.
Which is just like something you have to learn with different players. But
yeah,
we for the most part know where you, as the DM for the most part, know where I'm at.
Because like again, it's that thing of like you and I, the way that we understand sex, it's not a checkpoint. It is not the end goal. It is not. It's just a part of being together, a part of being attracted to each other, a part of being in love. Sex is just a thing. It's not the thing, you know. But that's not the case for everybody at our table and everything. And so the idea of like, you know, one of the characters, and it is just this character being like a particularly like, that she's just forward, you know, that's just who she is, just being like, hey, you want to do this? It's not that big a deal to me. Like, I'm just like, I'll just do it. And then the character being like, whoa, it is a big deal to me, though, maybe a bigger deal than it is to you. And she's like, fair enough, all good.
I will keep that in mind.
We'll build it. We'll build up to it. It'll be all good.
And then she turned into Tiamat.
So funny. And then I like that in our Turn the Lights Off. Just the sexual relationship, the predominant sexual relationship that is being explored in that game is like, it's not like the sexiest thing in the world. It's quite sweet, to be honest.
It's also very funny.
It's very funny. It's so funny. But it's like between a stripper and a musician, and like they're quite pathetic.
Do you know what I think is really funny?
Yeah.
We've played technically one session, 3 episodes. If you want to watch those, keep an eye out.
Keep an eye out. They'll be on Use One Roll. They'll be there.
Subscribe. Yes, they are the most sexual relationship so far in those 3 episodes. And it's been a day and a half, almost 2 days of in-game time. Yeah. And in that, they've set out with the intention of having sex.
Twice.
Hasn't happened.
It's
so funny to me that they keep having these conversations being like, shall we go and do this now? Yeah. And then something gets in the way. And sure, the first time was like a traumatizing event. And the second time was just bad rolls. Nat one on the asking the guy across the room if you want to have a threesome. Rough.
It was so funny.
I think it's hilarious.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I like when sex is funny.
Yeah.
People are so like, oh, it's got to be the best. It's got to be horny. No, sex can be so fun. I think that's so funny.
In a lot of scenarios, like in the scenarios we've faded to black. Yeah. Like, if it isn't funny yet, that's when I play the pathetic card to make it funny.
Yeah. God, this is complete aside, but it's so fucking annoying how like there's so many themes to Turn the Lights Off that I want to like, I've been trying to like put in there, but we just keep laughing. We just keep laughing through it. Like it's meant to be slutty. The sluttiness is there.
The sluttiness is there.
But like people aren't like
the horror. I think is what we interrupt.
Everyone keeps laughing through the horror
with funny.
Yeah, it's never going to be scary because everyone just keeps laughing through it. Yeah. But the like sluttiness of it all as well, like it's quite pathetic and quite funny, and it's just we just keep laughing. The action's action. No, you know what? We just keep laughing. Everything, every theme, we're just laughing the whole time.
The tension's tense, but that wasn't one of the themes you were going for.
No,
but the tension is tense.
The tension is
like
tense.
Not the sexual tension, the actual tension. The like, oh shit, are we gonna die? That's the tension.
One of the things that I don't like about this podcast is that I have to be in frame. I slouch and I look like a gremlin. And I think everyone thinks I have really bad posture, but I don't. I do sit like this most of the time, and I do sit upright. But now I'm out of frame.
You can put the camera up and just make me look smaller.
No, you look tiny. You look so small. Go sit up straight. Sit against the door and then sit up straight. See, we look fine. We have to sit like this every episode now.
I'll get sore.
Yeah. But if I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. It makes my back sore. I just have to sit perfectly upright. Look how fucking tall I am. Oh, Unbelievable. Anyway, sex.
That was the sex episode. We did actually talk about a fair bit of sex.
We did. Yeah.
Good on us.
Good on us.
If you want to see us talk more about sex, you could watch our new actual play D&D podcast, Turn the Lights Off.
Yeah.
Which will start going up in a couple weeks.
Soon.
Yeah.
Next couple weeks.
Subscribe. Maybe join our Patreon.
Oh yeah, if you want to support us,
but like it's free.
It's free now, but we will have an opportunity if you want to support us and help us make more of these things.
You can pay money of your own volition if you'd want to with
crazy?
your if you've got excess.
If you've got excess
spending.
Only excess though.
Funds.
Don't give us money if you can't. Only if you
only if you can and want to.
Yep.
No pressure.
No.
You can watch everything without paying money if you want.
That's fine.
That's good. That's all good. But also Patreon, I think it's just kind of the easiest place.
Yeah, to get everything.
To get everything all in one go.
Yeah. Anyway, well done.
And who knows? Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Because, you can't post on the sex episode.
Yeah.
You can't post like smut and like R18 art everywhere all the time.
Oh, but you can on Patreon.
But you can on Patreon.
You can on Patreon.
And I draw those sometimes.
You do.
So,
yep.
Maybe that's where you'll find it.
We might genuinely have to put your smut and stuff behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Because,
we
don't want everyone on the free thing to get.
No.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Thanks for listening to today's episode.
Yeah.
We'll see you next month for something else.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Anyway, ka kite anō. Much love.
Yeah.
Mwah, bye.